I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free Now looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts.
Hi, everybody. We are back for another segment of the Cardmaker Success Summit Demo Day, where we are bringing all of our favorite sponsors to the stage so they can show us all of their cool products and how to use them. So the next sponsor is Creative Fabrica, and we are going to be joined by Becky Dykes. She's going to show us some amazing products, and then we are going to do some awesome giveaways. So let's get started. Becky, are you ready to come to the stage? Big thumbs up. Yes. All right. Let me bring her to the stage. Hey, Becky.
Hi, everyone.
So excited to get to meet you. We have never done a live before, so this is exciting.
Very exciting. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Becky, tell us a little bit about the promo that we've got going on with Creative Fabrica.
So the Creative Fabrica promo is a free month. If you're not sure what Creative Fabrica is, it's an amazing digital platform, and they have an all-access subscription. And basically, the promo for you guys, because we love you so much, is you get a free month to try out the website, see what you think. You know, there are all types of downloads. I know we're talking about cards today, doing an awesome card project, but the amount of items on there is really, truly amazing. But you get it for your first month for free until you reach 10 downloads. Okay. But then after that, it only renews for $9 a month, which is really fantastic because the normal price is $29 a month. So
yes, and that's a lifetime price, right?
Yes, it is. For as long as you have your subscription, it'll only be $9 a month.
So you just lock it in by participating with the link that we've got. Let's see. Do we have a link, Harriet?
If you don't, I do.
Okay, I think she's got one. She'll put it up there. There we go. Looks like it's scrolling past. So you've got to go to that link, excuse me, to take advantage of that. And that's at stampmesomelove.com/Creative Fabrica. I love for Creative Fabrica because I do a lot of stuff with my Cricut, and I love all of the fonts that they have. And one thing also to mention, Becky, is that all of the files with Creative Fabrica comes with a commercial license. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the commercial license is great because that means that you can sell products with it. So even if you're not there yet, by securing your files, knowing that they come with a commercial license, you're protected forever. So you don't have to sort out later what font is commercial, what font isn't. You know that they're all covered regardless of where you're at in your crafting journey.
And so just a little shout out to all my students who are in the Craft Biz in a Box membership. You definitely need to sign up for this because having SVGs that you create, manipulate, change with other designs is a great way to utilize to either sell your products or to use them as freebies to get people into your audience. So all right, well, we're going to stop talking about all that. Becky, I just want to say that I love Creative Fabrica. So you guys are just a great program, and I love using all of the designs that you have on your website. All right, so I'm going to let you go solo so you can show us what project we are going to make today.
Yay! Okay, so what we have for you today, if you have not already, let me dig in my goodies here. Does everybody recognize these tips? Okay, if you don't, they are the magic behind the project today, which is using a foil quill. Now, I'm using a Cricut Maker 3, but you can absolutely do this with other models of Cricut. You can do it with other brands of cutting machine. As a matter of fact, when I first used a foil quill, I was using my Silhouette. So really, it goes across all the platforms of the cutting machines that you have. So that's super exciting. So I always just like to remind everybody of that because I do use my Cricut a lot, but you guys may use a different machine, and that's okay because all of our tutorials and all the files that you get from Creative Fabrica are, universal. You can use them with whatever machine you have. So I'm going to use, just to give you a rundown of my supplies, I have just basic cardstock. I am using black and white. And then the foil quill, I don't have the pretty packaging. It came in a little kit, but it is 3. Now, this part is a little bit different. I have all 3 tips because I was just so super excited, but you can also buy 1 tip with the tools that you need for, I think it used to roughly be around $20. So really inexpensive for what you're getting. And it comes with, obviously, all the tools to set up with your machine, but then you also get a sample of the foil that's used for the foil quill. So I'm going to be using the gold today. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about setting this up with your machine. So I'm going to switch over. I have an overhead camera so you guys can see it up close and personal. Well, give me 1 second. There we go. So don't judge the state of my Cricut. I do take good care of it, I swear. But what we have, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. This is the tip that I'm going to use today. And C is the adapter. Okay, so let's unscrew that. Now it comes with 4 different size adapters. And you can see that each one is made a little bit different to fit the different machines, okay? And it comes with an instruction guide. And this is where you're going to find which adapter goes with your exact machine, okay? So I know that for the Cricut, we're a C, which is perfect. And it just has these little threads. You're going to feed it on and thread it through. And the one thing I was intimidated about at first, and let me just get you guys a little bit closer. There we go. Well, there. So this is your pen holder, the spot where you would install a pen. And this is the part that's naturally in there. And what you have to do to get it in or out is you really have to pull it almost to its max to widen it up enough for it to slide in and out. Okay. So if you pull it all the way, push it in, you can kind of hear it click. The same is true for the reverse. You just pull it back out. But if you don't pull it enough, and when I first started, I would just open it and it just doesn't feel like it's going to come out. So you have to give it that little bit of extra pressure and it'll slide right out. Now make sure you don't lose that. So I tuck it in my little cubby here on the side. And then when it's time to put the foil quill in, you just rest it right there on the ledge. So it automatically stops at the bottom. Okay, so really easy to install. Just rest it. I say that the ledge, you're really talking about the back here. That way when it closes, it's nice and secure. You can give it a little tug and it is in there very, very well. Now, the other end of the business is this little USB port. Now, on my Cricut, have a USB port here on the side. So what I can do is plug it in and my little guy here lights up. What I want to do, this again comes in your toolkit. I'm going to go ahead and slide that underneath. And it just protects my Cricut because what happens is this guy here starts heating up. Okay, so keep an eye on it. I don't ever recommend anything, especially with heat. You're not going to want to plug it in and walk away. You can plug it in and let it heat up and not put it in your Cricut right away. But, I just go ahead and put that there because we're going to talk a little bit in the software. They say it does take about 5 minutes to heat up. I think it's a little faster, but we have plenty of time, so 5 minutes is going to be just fine. Other items that come in your kit, you do get a little bit of washi tape. Now, if you run out, you can use any type of washi tape that you want. You can probably even use Scotch tape, although I haven't had to do that just yet. And did I show you these? I think I did, but they're really, really gorgeous foils. I love foils. These make great Christmas cards. What we're going to work with today is going to be a New Year's card. So that's why we're going to do the traditional gold and black. But really, I mean, the Christmas cards are really awesome too. So let's move these off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And there we go. Okay, so I have already set up the basis of the design here. So what that means is that we have a font, and now this is a font, and then we have an SVG file for the frame. Now the font, what is special about this is it's a single line font, and that's important. And I'm trying to show you here with the SVG too. It's important to have single line fonts and single line designs because as you can see with this SVG, and we can zoom in just a little bit here. Do you see how I'm going to get the double lines? This isn't going to fill in. And that surprises a lot of people, but it is just very much how it works. It's going to trace these lines. It's the same as if you were going to cut vinyl. It would cut along the outside of your design, but because it's drawing, it's just going to trace these lines on here. Now, for the design that I'm working with today, I am A-okay with that, but not everybody is so crazy about that with their fonts. So looking for those single line designs and those single line fonts can really make your foil quill experience a lot smoother and a lot better. Now let's talk about, well, before I skip ahead, we do for the next 2 days have the font and this SVG file. Now this is a whole collection of frames. This is the one I selected for the file, but there are tons of frames included. I think at least 8 in this bundle. But we have the bundle and the font available for you to download absolutely for free. Although we do want you obviously to take advantage of the subscription deal. These are free whether you have the subscription or not. So super, super exciting stuff. Now the other things that I have here, if I slide those out of the way, this is just a basic square. This is going to be like the mat for my project. I made it 4.75 and then I made another square that is 5.10. Now, if you're not familiar with how to create the basic shapes, I'm going to show you one more. So you just go to shapes here on your left-hand side. And this is what I started for both of those. You just click on the square and see it comes in gray, but you can make it any color. We're actually going to make this one white. And once again, I'm going to size it. So I am going to come over here. I'm going to leave my aspect ratio locked, but you can unlock it if you want to. But it is 4.75 is the size. So what we have is this is going to be the base for our card. This will be the front mat that is going to contain our design. And then this is going to be the inside portion where you can write whatever type of greeting or message you want. One thing that is also neat, even if you don't want to do it in foil, is you can pair this up with a nice pen and you can write in here as well with almost the same process that we're doing today. So let's go ahead and talk about uploading your designs, because here you are going to go to upload, and here's where I uploaded that really awesome frame. But if I go to upload image and browse, you'll get a preview. Let's see, here's that awesome font that I installed. Here are my frames. And I'm just going to go to the black color frames. And these are all the different frames that come with it. So I really underestimated. It comes with 15 frames. Now on all these, you will get the double line that I talked about with the stars, but really it's the fonts for me that make a big difference. Okay, so you can upload any of those that you want to use. Once I'm ready to get my project underway, I'm going to grab, and this is called a drag box, I'm going to grab my frame, my text, and my black mat over here, go to Align, and then just go to Center, and it's going to center all those for me, and I can attach. That way it locks all those in place, and Cricut Design Space does not try to divvy them up, okay? Once we're ready and we're happy with what we have, and I can zoom back out and show you guys, we're going to do this in 3 parts. So we have 2 parts in black, so that's 2 sheets of black cardstock, and then 1 sheet of white. So I'm going to go ahead and click over to Make It. And what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and connect to my machine. It's going to say everything on my to confirm. And what I'm going to do first, we'll do the material size to letter. Okay, so that's where I knew I would need 2 different ones. I want to do this foil quill one here first. And where did my cute little text go? Let's go back and check out my design. So let's say cancel. Let's go back. That text was definitely there. So let's detach. And that is selected for pen. My design is selected for pen. Okay, so let's try again. Let's select those and attach. Okay, they're all listed over here on the right. So maybe it's just the preview. On a mat. We're just going to do this a second time. We just want to repeat, right? All right. Letter. There's one mat. Here's the second mat. So let's go ahead and proceed, because I do want you guys to actually see this in action. And then we're going to talk more about the single line designs, the single line fonts, those sorts of things. So it's connecting to my Cricut Maker. And what I'm going to select here today, all right, that is selected. And my base material is going to be cardstock. So I go to Browse Materials, and I'm just going to type in cardstock on my computer. Oops, can't spell. And then I have a ton of cardstock options. Now, mine is just regular cardstock. There's nothing special about it. I'm going to use this medium cardstock setting, and I'm going to choose Done. And now here it's telling me, it really gives me step-by-step instructions here. It says to load the pen into clamp A, which we've done because it's talking about our foil quill. Load the fine point blade in clamp B, which I have. It's in there. I left it in there. And then I can go ahead and load the mat. So what I'm going to do is stop sharing. And I want you guys to watch what I'm going to do here. So this is just a regular light grip mat. I like that for my cardstock. And I am going to take my cardstock. I'm going to put it here. And what I want to do is go ahead and secure my foil. So what I'll do is go ahead and release this little bit of tape here. Now my design, remember, should be, this is a 6-inch length. My design should be well covered by that. So what I'll do is just pull out a little length of it here.
Hey, Becky.
Yes?
Can you zoom out a little bit? We
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can't see.
There we go. Is that a little better? Oh, yeah. There we go. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so slide it down, and I'm just going to trim it with scissors. Oh, that was a messy job. These are obviously not my good scissors. So then I'm going to take my washi tape. Just take some lengths of it here. What I like to do is just go ahead and tear off one long piece. I don't need that, but I am going to tear it into 2. There we go. snag one side. Let's unroll this again. Position it. I don't like to go off the paper because I know that my design isn't going to. I'm just going to go ahead and tape one side here. I'm going to grab the other side. I want to smooth it down. I do want this to be tight. And one tip that I have is go ahead and let it touch down on your foil. But then if you pull it up from your cardstock, you can really get a real tight pull on it. Okay, I'm going to repeat the process with the top and bottom because I don't want those wrinkles in there. Okay, so let's grab the bottom. I can go ahead and pull on that a little bit.
Becky, what type of foil are you using?
This is the foil quill foil. It comes with the kit, or you can buy it separately when you run out.
Okay.
It's made special, from what I understand. I'm not a foil professional, but from what I understand, it does need to be their specific foil.
Ah, I see.
Okay, so there we go. It's all taped down. What I can do now, and let's move up just a little, because I'm going to slide this guy out from underneath. There we go. So I'm going to just line this up. Go ahead and load my mat. You guys see some of the writing in action. Now you can't see this, but I'm just clicking over to my software, make sure everything's looking good. It is. All right, it says we are good to go. So I'm going to hit my start button here. Now this process will actually take a little bit, so I want you guys to see it in the beginning. Okay, but it's literally writing my design. It's tracing that design out. And then as it's going along, I can actually see some of the imprints that it's making. Once it gets down to the bottom, you'll be able to see that a little bit too. There we go. Do you see where some of that foil looks crinkled? That is where it's applying the heat, because that tip is heated, and it's the heat that's going to apply the foil to our cardstock.
Becky, we've got a question regarding the promo, the discount. If someone were to, do the month-to-month, the $9.95, would they be able to pay for it in an entire year and still get that discount, or do they have to pay for it in monthly?
So I believe that right now, if you check out the Creative Fabrica website, I think there's already a promo that discounts it on an annual basis.
Okay.
And I believe that it's even less than the $9 a month. I think when I looked, it was $79.99 for 12 months.
Gotcha.
So that would even be a cheaper price than the promo we have going on.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, let's switch back over. Oh, it did rip my foil off. That's okay. There we go. Let's unload this disaster I made. There we go. But
it's because I talked.
I got distracted. I'm sorry, guys. But you can see here. Let me unload this. Now, we did not get that cool font. I'm going to have to check into that because clearly I did something wrong. Sorry, I took this off. It really just pulls free. I can take my whole... Let me give myself some more room here, guys. Let's move this back. And I can take... I'm going to go ahead and unplug and unload my foil quill. Just for the time being, because I don't want to leave that unattended. But slide that out, and I can actually just take my entire cardstock off. There we go. Because what I need to do is I need to go ahead and cut the other pieces for my card. So let me go back to the software, and it wants me to go ahead and cut my white. So I really do love how it gives you the walkthrough like that. That's something that I missed with Silhouette. Not that I don't love my Cameo, I do, but It's a very user-friendly software here. So I'm going to just load in my next color. Hit load here. Go back to my cardstock. Okay, we got a little bit of business going on here. Let's let you guys see that. This one should be real quick and easy. Okay, hit the start. All right, easy peasy. Pull this off. And now it's going to be my card base. So I'm just going to take another piece of the black cardstock, line it back up, put it on here. And this one should be pretty easy too. All right, so that was 3 steps because it did combine my foil quill and my first cut. So we have the base. I'm going to move my mat out of the way. We have the base, we have the white mat. I'd already covered it up. And then we have, so this is my foil quill results. I'm going to be honest with you. I did make a mess of it when I let it cut immediately after. So since we have time, since I think we're doing okay on time, let's go ahead and run this one again since you guys are still with me. Is that okay with everybody?
Sounds good. Let's do
Set these
it.
off to the side. And the materials we need. And let's go ahead and plug our foil quill back in. Here we go. You always want to be mindful of your cord also. You don't want your cord to accidentally be, sucked under with your mat. So always watch that too. I'm going to go ahead and take my mat. Let's let that heat back up. While I'm doing this part, since you guys have already seen it, do we have any other questions that you want me to talk about or answer? Either about the foil quill, or I want you guys to be bored watching a repeat.
I think the repetitiveness is just fine. We
Okay.
all, sometimes when you see it for the first time, it's hard to catch it. So
True. Now, I will also say that I am not very frugal with my foil. So if you're going to say you're going to do these for a lot of cards, or you want to really make it last, then you can definitely size this a little better with your, with precision. I'm just going to pull off more of my washi tape. Now, I do like the thick tape, but I have also done this with a thinner tape, washi tape, and it has worked. All right, there's my 4 pieces. So I think this time, So last time that I made a card, it was a smaller design. So when it cut around my foil, it didn't cut into it and catch like that. So that was my oversight, but I'm going to show you guys how to fix that, because we will just do that as 2 separate steps. So this time I'm just going top to bottom. And pull tight. Grab on the side. Yes, ma'am.
Becky, while you're doing that, Harriet's typed a question to me, and I don't quite understand what she's asking, so I'm just going to read to you
Sure.
what she's written. The question is, do you have to move the star wheels? And then she goes on to say, on the Cricut bar, the little white star wheels that feed the mat. She thinks the answer is no, but I don't even know what she's asking.
The answer is no, absolutely. So,
Okay, great. I'm glad you knew.
Yeah, mine are, and she may have noticed when I tried to zoom in, mine are at a place from a clay project, um, where I just slid them off to the side. So mine are all bunched up together. I did try to just at least space them back out, but I never tracked exactly where they go again for a second time. But no, I haven't had that interfere with any of my foil quill projects before. So I'm going to go back to screen sharing in my Cricut. That way you guys can see what I am modifying here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, this is the project where it has the sketch. And you know what? I have one other idea. Let's just hit done here. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to detach, because remember, we still lost our text, and that was shocking to me. So let's grab both of those and align. And then let's see if we can weld these together.
Try attaching those 2 elements and then attach it to the cardstock. Oh, did we lose sound?
Excellent. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. The video on my end stopped, so I wasn't sure what you did. Can you repeat what you did?
Oh, no. All right, so let's go back to attach. Well, now it's just going to make fun of me here. Let's see. Make it.
If all else fails, save it and then restart Cricut.
Yeah, that's surprising. I actually have never had that error before. Let's see, foil. Leave it for technology to pop up when I'm showing an awesome project.
Of course. It always happens.
Okay, so let's get out of screen sharing, stop screen sharing. I'm going to close Cricut down and restart it.
So while you're doing that, I want to also offer another suggestion on how to do the same project. It basically, from what I'm looking at, is that you could also use the Cricut foil tip tool.
You can. I'll be honest with you. Let me show you. I like the foil quill a little bit better. Not that I want to bash this at all, but so this is a card that I did with the foil tip, and I didn't have super awesome foil on there. But here's another one. I tell you, my little studio here is full.
Now I'm also curious, with that one that you just showed, did you use more pressure, when you can change the pressure to default or more or less?
I did, actually. Yeah. But, I am a big believer that just because it happened one time doesn't mean that it'll happen again.
Right.
So, this could very well have been a fluke project. I think it's probably because I used the foil quill first and then the tip came out. And I just saw this and I was like, oh, I love my foil quill.
Right? Absolutely.
Okay, so we have restarted. So I'm going to go back to my projects. Sorry, I know I'm ducking my head. I'm looking underneath my camera here.
That's okay. While you're doing that, let me pull up on the screen those images that we're going to give away to everybody. So,
Oh, yes, yes, that would be amazing.
all right, so this is the single line font that Becky is using in her sentiment. And again, what's important about this this type of font, the single line, is that when you go to use it in your cutting machine, you're not going to get that double double cut line, because it's just going to lay it down as one single line on drawn. And then we've got the frames here. And so you can see some of the frames. I don't see the frame that you use, but it looks like we're only seeing 3 in this graphic. There's probably another graphic that shows the other, um, well, you know, but 15 minus 6, whatever that is, I can't think on the spot. But these are beautiful, and I think that, you know, if you can get it to work with the foil tip that Cricut has, or with the hot foil quill makers makers keeper, no, memory keepers, makers keepers, memory keepers, that they are very stunning when they do come on to like the darker cardstock. And let's see, go ahead and take that off. And I did a project not too long ago from with a file that I got on on Creative Fabrica, and it was a 50 birthday card, and I used the not the fine, yeah, the fine tip tool with just a regular font, but I created a pattern inside the outline of the number. And so it just drew it back and forth with that fine tip, and it showed up really nice. I think I have a picture of it on my Instagram. So if you guys are interested, hop on over to instagram.com/stamp me some love. And I posted a couple of days of a project that I had made. And I have that SVG. I haven't posted it anywhere public, but if you guys are interested in getting that SVG that I created, again, I got the original stuff from Creative Fabrica, and then I kind of altered it a little bit and made it usable with the Cricut machine and the foiling. So, all right. How are we doing, Becky?
I was going to say, I have the project back up, and I'm not getting the red error message anymore. So let's switch back over to screen sharing. Here we go.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is, instead of the pen, I switched this over to the foil tip. And I'm just going to see if that makes any difference at all with this design. It shouldn't. I'm really surprised that that is disappearing, but either way, we are definitely going to proceed. Center that again. We're going to attach those together. Grab these two, center again, attach those together. Let's click over to make it. Oh, so something is going on with the attaching, I think. So grab all of these. Okay, so we go to our mat and confirm. We're still losing that text, but I want you guys to see a successful foil quill project. So we're going to change this to letter. We're going to click on our second mat here. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to browse our materials, go back to cardstock. And we'll do medium cardstock. Okay, so this actually walks me through different steps. But if you notice, it's telling me to put my my tool into clamp B because it's expecting this to be the foil tip. So let's switch that over, and that should work just fine. And this breaks it down into 2 steps for us. So if I stop sharing, move my camera again, there we go. So let's see if this is going to fit. So it does not. I actually played with this earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the adapter off because it will fit without the adapter, and it's still surprisingly in place. Okay, so we're good there. So that's another little cheat. Grab this, load it. Okay, let's hit start. So if setting up the text and then the design can be intimidating, Creative Fabrica does have the single line designs that are already ready to go. Well, I think this is the cursed project. It did not like that at all. So, guys, unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to proceed with our original, and I'm going to show you about putting it together. And I do want to show you more about the Creative Fabrica website and how awesome that is. I'm not sure what's going on with the project, but you know, I tell you, regardless of what you're seeing here, the foil quill is a super great way to make the foil. If you do, let me switch over so I can see you guys and you can see me. Well, you'll see me put this together. I have a zigzag pen, 2-way glue pen. So we have our mat, which is going to go on the inside. And this was our design. It's going to go on the outside. Now you can do those in contrasting colors if you want. Also, I could have given myself a score line here, but I'm just going to cheat and fold it over. Okay, and then of course I can give myself a good crease here. So believe it or not, I used to be a card maker. I honestly haven't made a card in years and years and years, it seems, but still one of my favorite things to do. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of this 2-way glue pen here. And I want to align it on the front of my card base. And then let's open it up and repeat the process for our white. So we can write a nice sentiment in here. There we go. So what we would have is a really cute foil quill card, and then a super easy way to write whatever message you want to the recipient. Of course, you would be able to grab a cute little envelope. You would even be able to do a little foil quilling on the back if you want, you know, handmade by Becky or made with love. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So I'm sure you guys do too. But as long as we're still okay on time, let's take some more questions. I know, are we, how are we on time? I see.
We've got about 4 more minutes.
Okay.
And
we
we're,
have any
we're,
questions?
we're not we're not doing, let me bring us together. We're not doing a drawing per se because everybody is going to have the chance to get those two files. If you go to cardmakersuccesssummit.com/shop the demo day. There are links that go directly to those freebies. So if you guys are interested in picking that up, I'll just splash that up there real quick here. That's the single line font. And then we've got the frames. There are a whole lot more frames that are shown right there. And then we've also got the free trial for Creative Fabrica. First 10 downloads in your first month are free, and then after that it renews at $9.95, which is a significant discount from their normal monthly rate, which is $29 and something. So I utilize Creative Fabrica's files almost every day in my project. So it's, you know, if you are and it's not just for craft Cricuts or Silhouette machines or whatever. They've got lots of stuff that you can print, color, resize, that kind of stuff. So it's definitely not just for folks that have electronic cutting machines. If you even have, you know, things that you're working on in Word and you just want a nice little font to, you know, write your signature, or if you're creating a little poster or whatever, all of those designs are put into formats that you can use for Word and stuff. So it's very versatile.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Let me just check over with Harriet and make sure she doesn't have any questions for me to ask. Nope. Let me just double check, look at the comments here. And everybody's saying that they think it's Cricut. Not you, Becky, not the design. It's Cricut. You know, there's some bug in the line. So I'm sure when you refresh tomorrow and start over, it'll work perfectly.
Hey, you know, it happens to the best of us. I make mistakes all the time, so it could be me, but you know, I still think it's really great. I love my Cricut machine, but like you were talking about, even if you don't have a Cricut, and they even have a freehand pen. Okay, so maybe you are an artist, you could do it with a freehand and do things that way, but really, really great. I really like it a lot. But most importantly, I like being here with you guys. I always love, you know, socializing and hooking up with other crafters. And hopefully you'll take advantage of the Creative Fabrica special today.
Yes, absolutely. And that is good for 48 hours, you guys. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it now, so that way you can lock in that super low monthly discount. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Becky. We enjoyed the process and love knowing that it's not just, you know, us newbies that make mistakes and stuff and machines don't cooperate. It happens to the pros too.
It absolutely does. Thanks again.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. I know that was extremely frustrating. We really wanted it to work out for her, but you know, machines can be fickle sometimes, and she did a great job. I love how calm she is, and she just sort of tried to work through it. And that's what really, basically, what we all have to keep in mind is that if it doesn't work, you know, just try it a different way or reach out to somebody else to see if they've got a solution. I know a lot of us are afraid to use our Cricut machines. We get so excited, we get it for Christmas, and then we don't do anything with it. I know I did that for many months after I got my Silhouette for the first time. That was a few years ago. I literally, it stayed on my shelf, and my wife, I made her buy it for me for birthday, and she at first was like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I was like, "Come on now, I just want it. Just, you know, it's my birthday." And it did sit on my shelf for probably 6, 7 months. And every time she came into my craft room, she was giving me a hard time about it. And so I finally cranked it out and I started using it and started learning it. And then I bought a Cricut and I haven't gone back actually. I still have the Silhouettes. They're over there. I think, I don't know, I'm keeping them for sentimental reasons, but got my Cricut all set up over here. And now that I'm hooked into Creative Fabrica and I signed up for their $1 deal they had last time, and now I've got a really good monthly rate, and I use their products all the time. And since I'm also selling SVGs, it's really great because all of their files come with that commercial license, and you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for copyright or anything like that. So, all right. Well, it looks like we've got one more presentation, and that's going to be Karen Burniston, excuse me, from KB Riley, and she's going to come on, and we cannot wait to see what she's going to be creating with us. All right, you guys, go to the schedule page, go to the shop the demo page, where you can find the link to catch us in our next segment. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.